It's got glyphosate. Glyphosate. It has no glyphosates in it at all. None. That's pretty impressive. Happy birthday, everybody, and welcome to Cerealsly, where we take cereals seriously. My name is Alex, and one time I was on a road trip with my friend Tony. We happened to drive through a super tiny town, and it seemed almost deserted. We had to stop at a red light in the middle of the downtown intersection. While we were stopped, from our right came a bouncing tire in the middle of the road. We watched it bounce right through the green light at the intersection, bounce its way to our left, and just keep going. A few seconds later, our light turned green, and we drove on. We never saw where that tire came from, or where it was going, or whether or not it was the only inhabitant of that town. It is a mystery to me to this day. Listen, if you know any other city run by a solitary, sentient piece of automotive equipment, I'd love to hear about it down in the comments. Today on Cerealsly, we're not looking at a specific flavor or specific brand or specific trend in cereals. Instead, we're looking at a specific location from which someone might buy cereals. I actually hope this becomes an ongoing type of episode, but we'll see how this one goes today. Now, of course, each of us buys our cereal from different places. For some of you, you're always on the move, so you grab an overpriced box of cereal at a local bodega or a gas station. For many, I'm sure you're like me, and you buy cereals at what might be called a run-of-the-mill supermarket, Kroger or Walmart or Cub or Target or Publix. Some of you buy from hometown grocery stores like Miller's or Johnson's or whatever, or big box stores like Sam's or Costco. But some of you buy your cereal from where each of today's selections come from, the dollar store. Now, there is literally a brand of store called the dollar store, but I'm not intending to be that specific today. Instead, I visited several dollar stores in my area to check out what was available, and what I found ran the gamut. I was at points thrilled and let down, delighted and disappointed, repulsed even, and yet curious. It was an exhilarating experience throughout. Dollar stores as a concept really came to life in the 1950s with the clear gimmick at that time that everything in the store would be sold for just $1. In the 80 years since, dollar stores have received both accolades and criticism. On one hand, they make everyday products available to customers who might be on a tight budget. On the other hand, they have the stigma of being cheap and actually overpriced for the real value of their products. Some have even claimed that they are a problem to low-income communities, making fresh or healthy foods harder to come by. I personally have never used dollar stores for my regular grocery needs, but I've popped into many on a regular basis for the past 2 decades, and I have absolutely seen this problem of the dearth of healthy foods get worse and worse. Cheap, sugary snacks and full sugar drinks are a big part of a normal dollar store experience, and anyone looking for discounts on any food that might have nutritional value will be out of luck completely at many of the stores that I have visited. Still, many people would argue that dollar stores have a place in their communities, and there are even some big fans out there. On my latest trip around the dollar store circuit, I noticed at least one interesting thing that those of you who don't shop there regularly might not even know, and that's this. Almost nothing is actually $1, at least in my area. All of the dollar stores that I visited were actually at least $1.25 stores, and most products were actually multiples of that. Also, when it comes to cereal, there are really 3 different trains of thought in the dollar store world. First, some stores have a selection of what we might call almost expired cereals. These are usually the ones that didn't take on, the ones people don't want, or the fun flankers that really had a limited time they could be on shelves for the season, but that the major brands are still able to somehow unload on these discount stores. So if you're late to the Cerealsly party and you want to try some cereals that we've reviewed in previous episodes that are no longer on regular shelves, you should check the dollar store in your area. They might be living out their twilight days there. Second thing is that I assumed in my mind that most of the products to hit the mark of $1-ish would have to be off-brands. But the truth is that, at least in the grocery section, that most foods are just the common name brands sold everywhere else, but in small containers to get near that $1 price point. Cereal specifically often comes in these tiny bags. It's the same cereal, just in a $1 quantity. Finally, though, are the most fun and exciting to me, and that is the true dollar store brands. These are the crazy cousins of our more beloved cereals, the ones with cereal-sounding names like Fruit Spins and Apple Twirls and Marshmallow Magic, or ones that literally describe the cereal as the title, so they're called something like Oat Circles, or Squares of Wheat, or Crispy Rice. Those are brilliant. Now, it's in all those categories that we're going to explore today with 4 different offerings that bring both great value and hopefully a very fun cereal experience. All right, let's take a look at our 4 dollar store cereals that we have today. First, we have a cereal from the Dollar Tree called Fruit Rings. Now, these obviously are just a knockoff of Fruit Loops, but I gotta say, they look great to me. Great colors, great fruit flavor, sugary coating, it looks like. But these actually say, now, even better tasting. So they've been reformulated. That's great news, because I heard rumor on the internet that the previous version wasn't just less good, but may have actually been toxic. That's bad. But not these, though. I don't think these. However, they do have this ominous warning here at the bottom that says that they may be produced with genetic engineering, bioengineered ingredients. Does that feel scary to you? I looked it up, and I actually think this is the government trying to say that we shouldn't be scared because they know about it, and they're fine. So that's why they're mandating these labels. But to see it for me for the first time on a dollar store cereal knockoff, that didn't seem great. But maybe that means that they're cutting edge for this new labeling standard, and in that case, way to go. Who is this? GF Brands? And this, by the way, was made as a product of Mexico. People around here are always talking about how great Mexican Coke is and things like that, so maybe these will have that same real sugar punch. Who knows? All right, second, we've got Berry Crunch. This obviously looks like a Crunch Berry situation, but I gotta tell you, this is from Family Dollar, and I love the box colors and the sort of nautical themed, is it a parrot maybe, for the mascot, and these are great shapes, great colors, looks just right, spot on, and no bioengineering here for all I can see. So we'll have to see if it could use that genetic modification boost. Third, we have a contender from what's called around here the 99-cent store. Let me try to read this to you. It is called gluten-free sprouted cacao-os. Cacao? Is that? I think that's how you say it. This is definitely in that area of, I don't think that they would have much success selling this in normal stores, so it got sold off to these discount stores to see if they could unload it. But boy, oh boy, this could not be more different than these other 2 that we see here. It is labeled with pretty much everything that you might want it to be labeled with. It's labeled gluten-free, it's labeled certified organic, it's non-GMO, which is the exact opposite of these. It's got glyphosate. It has no glyphosates in it at all. None. That's pretty impressive. And it just looks like sort of a rich cacao. Cheerios? I don't know. This is the most granola cereal that isn't granola that I've probably ever eaten. This company is really into the sprouted grains idea. I saw another one with sprouted rice. All that sounds very gross to me. But it's supposed to be super healthy. On their website, they say that sprouted grains have the most gamma aminobutyric acid that you've ever had before, and that sounds awesome. I needed some more gamma aminobutyric acids in my life. Finally, we are headed back to the wacky and completely non-nutritious for our coup de grace, the final knockout for the dollar store cereal world. And it's the real reason that I'm making this episode in the first place. You are not going to believe it. Bubble gum flavored cereal. This is also from Dollar Tree. But by the way, Dollar Tree owns Family Dollar. They're the same company. now, but they still have different branding and some different product selection. I actually happened upon this late last year. Some of you have seen it behind me in the collection in different places at different points. It is such an out there idea that I just had to pick it up. It is sadly, I got to tell you this early on, it is far past its expiration date, but I'm gonna not eat much of it, just enough to try it, which I absolutely have to do. Some of you may remember that I am not a gum chewer. One folklore that I shared was that I haven't chewed gum since 6th grade, just because. Well, I don't think this counts because it's only bubblegum flavor, but we're gonna have to see. But remember, all of these are cereals, sure, but they represent something bigger. They represent the discordant, volatile reality of what it means to be in America right now. We want our deep discounts, but we also don't want to be provided garbage for those discounts. We want to pay almost nothing but get everything. Each of these pushes the boundaries of what value we attribute to a dollar, and therefore what value we attribute to ourselves. What do you think? Are we going to find ourselves mirrored in these dollar store purchases? Friends, it's time to eat some cereal. All right, everybody, I got my bowls, lots of bowls today. I got my spoon, and I have my beloved skim milk. Now, I want to announce something very important today, and here's what it is. I am not going to be continuing to do skim puns. It's just too hard. It is stressful for me, and in the end, I don't think they're very funny. Maybe that's why they are funny, but I gotta give up now. I'm gonna do a little self-care. I'm gonna prioritize me by just letting that bit go. If it pops up every once in a while, great. It will be a welcome thing. But I have to release it back to the universe so I can hold on to me. All right, let's eat some garbage. How about we look at these cereals in the order that I introduced them? Let's start with what should be very straightforward, right? A bioengineered cereal from Mexico that is supposed to be like Fruit Loops. Hey, look at that. They didn't even bother to create a second design. It is the same on the front and the back. Even some big companies do that sometimes, so I don't want to blame them. Ooh, pretty great bag. Very easy to open. Smells like a tangier version of Fruit Loops, just like it should. Again, I think the goal is just to give us a cheaper version of Fruit Loops, right? Let's see what happens here. They're like chubbier. They are definitely Fruit Loops, but they really are like a little plump compared to regular Fruit Loops. Fine colors. Many people don't recognize this, but most Fruit Loops kind of look bland when they're just in the bowl like this because they have a sugary coating that takes away some of the luster that might bring out the vibrancy of color. Look at this one, though. I wonder if they didn't color this one by accident. I can't find any others like. I've never seen this in a cereal. It's like albino. It's like unpigmented. How did they do that? How did they miss one? You'd think if they missed one, they would miss a whole subsection of the colors as they mix them together. But this one genuinely looks like it was just hiding away from the others. I'm going to put that guy front and center. I'm not even going to eat it until we got the milk. Instead, I'm going to try his brothers and sisters of all stripes, all colors, separately. Before we get to the milk, let's try these. Definitely a different texture and a punchier, it tastes cheaper, sort of a citrusy burst flavor. And it goes away like that. Boy, the texture reminds me of something. What is it that it reminds me of? You know what it is? Sometimes in our family we get those big, clear barrels of cheese balls. And if you leave them too long, some kid forgets to seal the cap down or put it on at all. It gets stale, yes, but almost like too much air has seeped into it. That's what this tastes like. They taste like they had too much air puffed into them during the creation process. So they seem much more insubstantial. I cannot wait to try these with milk. Fruit Loops is better in milk, brings off some of that coating into your mouth, into the cereal milk. But let's see what happens to this. Uh-oh, I think I lost my my friend, my pale buddy here. Oh, there he is. Let's put him on the first spoon so we can finish this. I hope he's not somehow avoiding the others because he's diseased in some way. Well, we'll see in just a second, won't we? Let's taste. The citrus taste almost has like a cleaning product taste to it. I'm actually not worried that it is somehow unhealthy for me, but it's got that tang to it, that sharpness of a lemon spray that you might use on your countertops. It just makes it a little unpleasant. Let me try one more bite. It's not the worst thing in the world. I think we might get to that later, but it is not good. It tastes like too many steps away from Fruit Loops to be enjoyable. Although I will say, in the milk, the colors are so vibrant. So again, they kicked butt with the very normal box design, the very super vibrant colors in the cereal. I am very impressed with that. Maybe that's the bioengineering taking hold there. So great job on the colors. Other than that, this is a pass for me. Let me just mention, of course, this wasn't $1. I think it was $2.49. I think all of these cereals were at least $2.49 at the dollar stores that I bought them at. Let's go to the next one, which is this Berry Crunch. You can't mess this up, can you? Actually, they did go through, this is from Family Dollar, I think. Is that true? Yeah, Family Dollar. They went through the trouble of designing a whole maze, not just a maze, but a monster maze. It even says, look, it's a maze, just in case you're like, it's just a bunch of monsters. No, it's not. It's morning milky mayhem with the amazing mini monsters. That's pretty exciting. So they put the money in. Is that where the value went? Hopefully they saved a little bit of that investment for the cereal itself. We'll have to see. Let's see, much more clear bag. They look great in the bag. Whoa. Very nice bag opening. You know that I'm a fan of that. Let's pour them in. Bigger than Crunch Berries cereal usually is. That's so funny. Why would it be bigger? Yeah, boy, it smells right on. It smells exactly like Crunch Berries, Cap'n Crunch Crunch Berries. So let's give these a taste. I'm going to try berries and the barrels at the same time. Boy, the corn grain, it's got to be corn. Yeah, corn and oat cereal, it says, is a very good, fun, bright flavor to this. It did not have the overpuffed nature of these or the semi-stale, even though they're fresh, type of taste. These taste surprisingly good. A good amount of salt in them. You know, I like that. Those are not a good Fruit Loop knockoff. It goes too far. This one is a pretty good, at least dry, Cap'n Crunch Crunch Berries knockoff. So, hey, maybe they've got something going on at Family Dollar. This is great. All right, now let's try it with milk, see if it holds up. Push it around a little bit. Now let's eat it. Yum, yum, yum. It's totally good. It's very salty. I don't know if I've had a cereal where I'm like, if it's on the edge maybe of being too salty, that's crazy. I usually talk up saltiness and how important it is to bring out flavor in cereals. This is quite salty. Maybe they're over indulging in that because it needed it. But let's give it one more try. This one is great. Again, it was still $2.49, and at some regular supermarkets, you can get a cereal on sale for $2.49 easy. But it's a big box. It looks well designed. It says there's 100% satisfaction guaranteed. I can't imagine someone's returning this. But if you did need to, you can. Really good, exciting things on the back for your kids to do a little maze at breakfast time. Boy, that was great. Hey, let's go to the polar opposite experience and try the sprouted cacao oats. Look there's like a very cleaned up family. There are several generations of people. There's even a baby in the picture. That is wild. And they are sprouting their grains all over the place. This doesn't look great to me, but hey, let's give it a try. Maybe it was so good that the 99-cent store that I bought this at was like, we must have that cereal because it's so great and healthy for our people. Pretty bad bag. Instead of sprouting your grains, maybe you should get back on an easy to open bag. That's more important to me. Let's see how it looks. Oh, looks like shriveled old man Cheerios. Like Cheerios that have been raisined. I don't know if that's possible, but they definitely look gross and sharply edged and bad. But they're exactly what they promised. Sprouted cacao-os. So I don't want to judge them too harshly. I'm not even interested in tasting these. These seem like they're going to be bitter for some reason. That's my guess. All right, let's taste these and see what the sproutedness brings to it. What the heck? Oh. They're nasty. What even is cacao? Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know, maybe I'm not even wrong. Maybe these are like shriveled up, dried cacao Cheerios or something. What is the grain here? It said, doesn't it say? Sprouted what? Whole grain cereal. What grain? Gluten-free organic sprouted whole wheat oat flour. Oh, wait, and then there's more. Brown rice flour. Chickpea flour. Geez, you guys. There's tapioca starch. There's so much stuff in this, and it's bad. How'd you do that? Stop putting so much weird stuff in it. Look at you guys. Look at, they're standing around. Stop putting so much junk in your cereal. Oh my. Let's try this with milk on it. What's it going to do? I mean, it is bitter. It has a rough crunch to it that's unpleasant. It never pays off in the end. Nothing good comes of it when it's in your mouth. It's yucky. Let's see what it tastes like in milk. Boy, oh boy, you gotta really value your health to eat this. If you value your health, why are you eating cereal at all? Yuck, yuck, yuck. I mean, this is just, why would you get this? I feel bad that they had it at the dollar store. I think it was $1.99, so a little cheaper than the others, because the 99-cent store, that means that most things end with 99 cents, regardless of how expensive they are. But that's what happens at every other store. Who gives a rip? This is making me kind of grumpy. Well, that is rotten to the core. I hate it. I hope it doesn't sell even at the dollar stores, 99-cent stores. I hope it goes away forever. Well, if I didn't like that one, I have some pretty big worries about this one. Same design on both sides. Actually, this again is from Dollar Tree. So we're back to Dollar Tree. It is a product of Mexico. It does say it might have taken genetic engineering to make these ingredients. So I guess that's not all that new because they were already putting that on their labels. This one was GF Brands. This one is Golden Foods, which it's a wacky box. Look, the pink and the blue look like great colors. Then they've got these like creatures here. There's like a blue guy and then like a guy who sort of looks like Pac-Man or a smiley face dude or something. There's a purple guy here. Even though these are obviously pink and blue, so that doesn't fit at all. I don't know. I still have that cacao taste on my mouth. Maybe this is the refresher I need. If I'm going to eat something bad, it might as well be a goofy bubblegum flavor. But bubblegum cereal, and it's called Fruity Rolls. Bubblegum is not a fruit. So I guess they're trying to connect it to Fruit Loops, but then make it fruit flavor. Let's try this. Let's open it up. Wow. It smells exactly like bubblegum. I don't know why we would have expected anything less. It is, as I'm glancing in, only pink and blue, like I said, which are bubblegum flavors. It looks just as advertised. I'm noticing this box says 50% more. I don't know if I'm going to need that, but we'll see. Again, for what it's worth, it smells, oh geez, smells like bubblegum hardcore. But please do remember, this is a year after the expiration date, so I'm not expecting it to taste as, well, I was going to say fresh as the others, but these two are dumb and nasty anyway. This one was horrible. I'm not expecting it to live up to the, what was it even called? The Berry Crunch, which was fantastic. I'm hoping I don't Ralph afterwards, I guess. All right, actually, let me try it dry here. All right. not half bad. Boy, we have proven over and over again on this channel that the expiration date make no difference. This does not taste stale. This does not taste like it's off when it comes to the freshness. This is legitimately over a year after the expiration date, and it tastes totally fine. Now, some people might say I'm not wise in ingesting these bioengineered ingredients a year after their intended expiration date, but that's not the problem here, okay? I just want to make that very clear that freshness, as I'm tasting this, is not the issue. The issue is that it's repulsive. The issue is that bubblegum cereal is bad. The idea of combining those things is bad. I have not chewed bubblegum since 6th grade, and yet I know instantly that these taste exactly like it. So much so that in eating it, my brain is confused. My brain is like, oh, wait a minute, is this bubblegum? Should I swallow this? Is it gonna live in my intestines forever like they used to lie to you and say when you were a kid? So that's gross. That's repulsive even, but it's not because it's not fresh. This is fantastic. It is novel. It is interesting. And I haven't even put milk on it, so let's do that so that I can rave in the end here. Let's pour some milk on this. See, the colors are fantastic. Very pink, very blue. I don't know if that, again, if it's making up for it being, maybe that's cheap. Maybe it's a good value for them to make it really colorful because they're not using many nutritious ingredients. Again, wow, the colors. My eyeballs love this color of blue. I don't know what it's called. I don't know what it is, but I want to look at it. And that is really fun for me. So today has been a colorful day, and that's good. Okay, I've kind of let it sit for a bit. Let me try it in the milk. Really, I am telling you the truth. I hate it, but it's great in the sense of tastes totally fresh. It tastes like a totally valid cereal. It's just a reprehensible move to add a bubblegum flavor to a cereal. I cannot even imagine a kid would enjoy eating it. Now, let me calm down for a second. This is not Sour Patch Kids level bad. That one was like, remove it from Earth. Nobody should have made it. I wanted to get angry about it. This is horrible. This is disgusting. But they swung for the fences. They really used all of the bioengineered ingredients that they had at their disposal to make something unique. I know that last year this blew up on the internet, on all the TikToks and places that people like to blow things up. I didn't have a YouTube channel at that point, so I couldn't do the review. Made no difference, though. I'm doing it now for you 10 people who watch anyway. So this is bad. It's foul. It's no good. There's nothing redeeming about it except they kept it fresh. How did they do that? So that is good. Way to go, Golden Foods. Well, friends, we have done it all. We talked, we ate, we risked my life by ingesting bioengineered ingredients from Mexico, but we washed that down with some fancy sprouted oats or whatever. So maybe that balances everything out. But now it is enough, I can tell you that. Remember, we gave these cereals, actually I didn't give them all ratings, so let's go through and see what we think. Let's go in the order we ate them. Fruit Rings, almost got there for Fruit Loops. Wouldn't seem like it's going to be too hard to get to Fruit Loops, but it wasn't great. I'd give this a 2. Berry Crunch was the hero of the day. Really close to a Malto-Meal brand type of comparison to what this obviously is trying to be, which is Cap'n Crunch, Crunch Berries. So I would say in that regard, a 3.5. It's edible, it's fun, it's very salty. What an interesting thing. Then we went down to this garbage. Garbage. It is horrible. Don't even think about eating it. Why would they make this? Why would you buy this? Let it go away back into the earth where it came from, where it can sprout all at once. Finally, we had a wonderful thing, something that this channel is all about, which is what a novel attempt at something interesting and fun that tasted like you're going to hate it. It's bad. But I am in love with the opportunity to eat this together. I will never eat another bite of this. It will go hopefully back on the shelf where it will be displayed as a trophy of the good times that we've had together, untouched forevermore. If you want to try today's cereals for yourself, 3 of the 4 were on shelves locally in my area and have been for the past several weeks. But I really don't know how long these things last, if they rotate these or whatever. So good luck out there if you want to try them. And listen, if you haven't yet, please, come on, like this video, will you? Just subscribe to the channel. I mean, everybody's doing it, it's fun. And then leave a comment with what cereal that we should look at together in a future episode. Until then, never be soggy, my friends. Bye-bye.